Almost everyone loves to start their day off with a cup of coffee. I am one of those people. However, I have quite the picky palate and I find it difficult to try new things. I often get scared of wasting ingredients or money because the new recipe just wasn't for me. Fortunately, I thought of a solution. My name is Zinnian Denoyer and my major is Advancing Computer Science. Please allow me to introduce Homebrew. Starting off, no, I do not mean the Dungeons & Dragons concept, Homebrew. Maybe next time though. This is Homebrew, a mobile application that will help users find out how likely they are to enjoy a coffee or tea recipe based on their preferences. The code in Homebrew will give a calculated percentage and display it to the user to showcase the odds of them enjoying a recipe. Homebrew was created with React Native using Snack Expo. I originally began working on Homebrew back in my spring semester of 2023 when I was taking Professor Hinton's React Native class. We were asked to use a theme for our applications, and I went with coffee, since it is something I am oddly passionate about. Well, what began as my final for that class ended up becoming my student innovation project. Creating Homebrew was an interesting journey to say the least. Thanks to the class that I had already taken, I had a small design prototype I could use as a start. During my summer semester, I took the opportunity to focus on designing Homebrew in another class. In that class, I was able to experiment with Figma to gain a better idea of what I wanted for my app, and overall, it led to better organization and designs for it as well. Homebrew went through multiple design phases and color schemes, which helped me find a theme that best suited. There were some intense moments throughout Homebrew's development, as I was working with code that wasn't covered in the React Native class. However, Homebrew gave me the great opportunity to get more comfortable with backend programming, and while the development was frustrating, it also helped motivate me to do better. I took a lot of time experimenting with other small projects to create the code I needed for Homebrew. I often created new stacks to work and test in before I added new code to the main project. This helped a lot with the testing and debugging phases, and allowed me to better understand my code and any bugs I received after adding the new function. Homebrew was a wonderful experience, and I got to create a project that reflects my passion for coffee, which has been my biggest ally during my college years. Now, allow me to demonstrate Homebrew in action. Opening up the app, we're brought to our welcome screen. Let's first get started by creating our preference profile. In here, we can pick and choose our flavors. There's only 9 options to choose from, but more will be added as I continue development on the app. Down here we have Finish. This will save our choices and help us find a match score later on. This is our home page. Here we have Find Recipes and Update Preferences. If we click on Update Preferences, it'll take us back to where we started. This helps us in case we need to change our mind later on. In Find Recipes, we can find Homebrew's library. There isn't a lot to choose from at this time, but more will be added as I continue studying other recipes. Let's head into a random recipe. Here we can find the title, a match score, description, ingredients, and instructions for the recipe. You probably noticed the Calculate Percent button. Clicking on that will give us a match score to determine how likely we are to enjoy this recipe. We'll check out another recipe. Let's head back and change up our preferences. We'll see how this changes our scores. Looks like our match score went up for the macchiato. What about the latte now? I'd like to say a special thanks to my smeezes, Professor Hinton and Professor Coddington. Without your guidance, I don't know how this project would have ended up, but I am so grateful for your assistance and I appreciate you two more than I can ever express. I would also like to thank you for taking time to watch my presentation on Homebrew. Now, I wouldn't mind a cup of coffee, but first I'll answer any questions to the best of my ability before I end. Thank you.